Yo, Shortbox Nation, this is Botter, and I'm here to tell you right now that con season starts early this year with the return of Northeast Florida's premier anime, comic book, and sci-fi event, Collective Con. That's right, Northeast Florida's largest pop culture convention returns for its 10th year on March 8th through the 10th at the Prime Osborne Center in Jacksonville, Florida. 10 years of Collective Con, they're pulling all the stops out to make sure this is a can't-miss event. And the guest list they got going, don't even get me started on the guest list. I mean, they've got A-list celebrity guests and voice actors from some of your favorite movies, anime, and video games like Elijah Wood and Sean Ashton, Ray Park, Trisha Helfer, Ross Marquand, Max Middleman, and Bo-Katan herself will be there, Katie Sackhoff. Tell me what other convention is giving you the opportunity to meet Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings, Darth Maul, and One Punch Man all under the same roof. Only at Collective Con. And if you're looking to get some of your favorite comics signed, or if you want to get an original sketch from some of the best comic artists in the world, well, you're in luck, because there'll be plenty of comic and creator guests there, like DC comic artist extraordinaire Clay Mann, Harvey Award-nominated illustrator John Taylor Christopher, Marvel and DC cover artist Chris Stevens, and acclaimed Star Wars author Timothy Zahn. They'll all be at Collective Con this year. And if you're looking to bring the family, or if you want to make a weekend out of it, you're in luck, because there'll be so much going on at Collective Con that weekend in the form of vendors, fan panels, video game tournaments, cosplay contests, after parties, and a bunch of fan events. You can purchase single and 3-day weekend passes now using the link in this episode's show notes, or by going to collectivecon.com to book your tickets and hotel. Buy your tickets now, and I'll see you at Collective Con, March 8th through the 10th. Now let's start the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Shortbox Podcast, Season 6.
The Shortbox Podcast was recorded before a live internet audience.
We are properly warmed up. I think the ice has been broken. Ashley, are we going to start this show?
Yeah, I thought we already started.
Yeah, seriously.
No, that was the bonus content.
All right.
Now let's get to the good stuff.
Wait a minute. I thought. Oh, look, I used my A material right out the gate. I'm sorry.
Damn it. All right, well, this will be a very dry...
When we're talking about Avengers 195 and 196, it's bound to be hilarious.
It is funny.
All right, here we go. Yo, Shortbox Nation. Something funny, guys?
Why do you do that?
Why? It wakes people up. It lets them know. That's the brand. That's my brand at this point.
Like he's doing an impression, like a comedian from the 80s. He turns around, comes like, hey!
Don't ruin the mystique, all right? May I do that one more time? Here we go.
Here we go.
Yo, Shortbox Nation.
Still
Hello again, and welcome back. As you can tell, I got the full crew. Boo. This is episode 329. New friends and first-time listeners, welcome to the show. You're now tuned into the Shortbox Podcast. Thanks for joining us. My name is Botter, and today we're putting a spotlight on Tony Masters, a.k.a. Taskmaster, the master assassin and tactician from Marvel Comics, who possesses an uncanny photographic reflex that allows him to adapt to every situation. We're putting a spotlight on Taskmaster because, of course, the Black Widow movie will be coming out later this week on Friday. I put out a poll on our Patreon page and reached out to our Patreon subscribers and said, hey, what comic book do you guys want us to spotlight?
Because we care.
Yes, because we care. They had a choice between 2 Black Widow comic series and then the first appearance of Taskmaster. I thought it'd be a little fun to switch it up. Taskmaster actually ended up winning the ballot by earning 57% of the votes.
Oh, wow.
So we went with our patrons, man. So they wanted to hear us talk about Taskmaster, so we're putting a spotlight on the main villain in the upcoming Black Widow movie. He made his first appearance in May 1980 in Avengers 195 through 196. Like I said, we'll be talking about that in the first part of the show, followed by our usual recurring segments. But first, allow me to officially introduce the rest of the Shortbox crew here with me in the studio today. Starting with my right-hand man, Cesar Cordero.
Man, you're the reason fucking Bill Cosby's out of jail.
Whoa. I feel like that is a Ryan Thompson joke if I've ever heard it. He'll probably Photoshop my face on Bill Cosby the next day or two. We've also got Edmund Danzar, a.k.a. the Edbot 5000 here with us.
Yo.
And master mixologist of the Shortbox, Ashley Laney Hoy, who is celebrating her 5-year Shortbox anniversary.
5 years.
Aren't you happy? Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it?
There's one single tear rolling down the cheek.
She's like, I've wasted so much time.
You know what's funny when you said 5 years? She looked at you like 5 years.
What?
I was genuinely surprised.
What have I
like
done?
no joke,
She just got up and
genuinely
left.
surprised.
That's
Been
right.
working at Image by now, full time.
That's right. If you want to hear Ashley's first appearance as a full-time host of the Short Box, go ahead and search for episode 134, appropriately titled From One to Loki.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you'll hear Ashley first. And you'll hear just the same amount of shit talking going on now and whatnot. But
It's
Ashley,
a little less because she was a lot more
Yeah.
introverted.
and we had no
Yeah.
idea how to interact with a girl at that time.
Yeah.
Now we do.
We still don't. What?
So, happy 5-year anniversary, Ashley. Like she said, you are now eligible for a dental plan under the Short
Vision.
Box. Under the Short Box
Copay
insurance
is still
plan.
about $1,000. So
Yeah.
doesn't matter much.
And look, the last thing to do before we get started is to, of course, thank and shout out our Patreon subscribers, the best patrons a podcast could ask for. Like I said, they were responsible for helping us pick the topic for this week's episode. So if you'd like to vote for the next comic spotlight and other future topics, consider becoming a patron of the show. You'll get to vote for episodes and enjoy bonus content we keep behind the paywall, aka the really, really good stuff. I'll be looking for our patrons later this month to help us pick the topic for our Suicide Squad episode that will drop the same week as the movie premiere.
Okay.
I've got some pretty good choices thanks to Ashley and Ed.
Nice. What about me? I put some
I
choices.
definitely didn't ask you at all.
Okay.
You weren't here that week.
It's all right. It's fine.
But that's for the future. Let's keep this show going for the next few minutes. What was that?
We're not on
What
the
was
Black
that?
Widow podcast yet. This guy's getting ahead of himself. He's like, for the next few minutes, we will talk about communism, comrade.
Actually, how much did you put in this drink? What was the shot?
It's Sailor
to
Jerry,
yeah.
not vodka, bro. You should be like, hey, homie. The eyes never lie, Chico.
Which, by the way, Scarface is back on Netflix.
Oh, don't you know?
And I'll be watching that.
Of course.
But yes, for the next few minutes, we'll be discussing Taskmaster's first appearance from Avengers 195 through 196, first published in 1980, written by David Michelini and artist George Perez, who we did a thorough spotlight back in episode 263.
Yes.
And David Michelini, guys, is co-creator of Venom, which is interesting.
Yes, indeed. Good callback. Taskmaster's first appearance and other key issues of his are now collected in a very handy trade paperback called Taskmaster, Anything You Can Do. It's available on Amazon and other places like that. It recently came, I think it came out this year. So if you're interested in diving into Taskmaster and reading these issues, you can check out the trade paperback or do what I did and read them on Marvel Unlimited app. For anyone who hasn't read these issues or has no plans to read these at all because they're really busy, what do they need to know about these comics, about these issues we're about to talk about?
Sure. So these Avengers issues specifically kind of focus on Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket, and they're looking for the Wasp. So the Wasp she went missing in the previous issue, and she was trying to help a mysterious guest who showed up seeking asylum at the Avengers mansion. Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man find her sort of dazed and confused. Okay. At the
All right.
I'm sorry. At the Solomon Institute, and it's interesting because this is
For
a
the
school.
criminally deranged.
Right, it's a school for goons and
name.
henchmen. So, like,
Yeah.
if you guys are fans, anybody out there fans of like Venture Brothers, this is what this comic reminded me of. Like, it's a school for henchmen who want to hench. So, here is where they meet basically the dean, the commander in chief, the head professor, if you will, the Taskmaster. He's the guy that's going to get you ready to hench.
The master.
If you're looking to hench for a big bad in the Marvel universe, Taskmaster's going to set you straight. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What a cool idea. That's
Yeah,
such
for
a
sure.
cool
I was about to say,
idea.
that is a cool idea for like 1980. Like, it's like,
The
all right.
concept's cool.
They're
And they
smoking
kinda-
that good over at Marvel.
And the googly eyes kind of.
And I mean, look, no surprise. Of course, the Avengers end up beating Taskmaster in the end. But what I liked about Taskmaster
Spoilers.
was that he ends up. I mean, to your point, he's so forward thinking. He's like, "Fuck losing. There is no money in losing. I'm running away to build another school."
It's like, I don't have to get my ass kicked to learn your moves. I can just watch video of this. And I'm not a robot, so I can't shoot lasers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true.
Ashley, what did you know about the character going in?
Oh, I knew absolutely nothing.
Same.
Yeah, I hadn't even
Really?
seen the
Yeah.
trailer for Black Widow, so I knew
You haven't seen
nothing.
one of the 20 different trailers they have. Like, no, literally, I was looking up TV spots for Black
lot.
Widow on YouTube, and it was like Black Widow trailer number 1 of 15. I'm like,
There's
well,
a
you
lot.
might as well
Yeah.
just watch the whole movie on YouTube.
That's why I don't like trailers. Like if I'm already like
Yeah.
gonna see a movie, I don't want to watch a single
Tell
trailer.
too much.
Yeah,
Look.
because you're like looking for scenes that happen later in the movie.
I think I've watched that trailer a million times, but for the wrong reasons, because the lovely Florence Pugh is in that movie, and she looks exactly like my wife. So I get a pass.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. You do,
Oh,
you fucking
You
weirdo.
fucking pervert.
Oh.
Ed, did you know anything about Taskmaster going in?
I know. I always liked his look because he kind of reminded me of like, Deathstroke and Skeletor.
And kind of
had a baby.
Skeletor, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this version with the googly eyes.
Hey,
This
blame,
first,
blame your boy Perez.
and I know, but Perez also was a co-creator of Deathstroke, who also
Yep.
came out. They both appeared at first appearances this year.
Taskmaster,
they both got those swashbuckling
Yeah,
boots.
they got
Taskma-
swashbuckling boots. so-
Taskmaster made his debut in May 1980, and then Deathstroke December 1980, so shortly after.
Look, we're an industrious people, all right? Puerto Ricans will make our money work for us.
Yeah, I always
okay?
liked the look of him. I know. I
Same.
think I've read him in more of like in his Captain America run more than the Avengers stuff. So I thought it was like a cool concept. I didn't know about his first appearance, but I always thought he had a cool look with the cape and the it's like swashbuckler boots and the skeleton face. That's always cool.
Yeah.
But this first version's kind of a little I don't know. A little
I
dopey
mean,
looking.
it fit with all those cool like retro costumes and stuff.
No, the
Yeah,
costume is fine. It's just like his googly eyes.
You didn't like that?
The pupils, like if they left them white, and then like his mouth looked like he didn't have teeth. It was
Yeah.
like it didn't look like a skeleton face.
I think it's a context thing, right?
Yeah.
Like what was scary back then and weird back then, as
Yeah, I
opposed
mean
to
that's like creepy uncle scary, but it's not like
hey man,
intimidating
hey.
henchman scary.
Well, sure.
Well, I was going to say, compared to his character design, that's a little more like his modern character design, where it's clearly like a skull. It looks like a skull face rather than like a mask covering up his face or whatnot. I was familiar with his overall power set because I remember reading like this chunk of Avengers back, when I was first getting into comics and collecting like the essentials. So the David Michelini run and the George Perez run, I know I've did like an initial read through.
That's strange.
Dude,
that's not very. I mean, obviously, your upbringing is not a very common upbringing because your dad's a hardcore Marvel head, right? But not many kids in the 90s were really rocking out to the Avengers. It was all Spider-Man and X-Men. So I like how you looked at me and I was like, I don't got much experience with Taskmaster. And you're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like I missed out on the Avengers.
And that kind of storytelling was kind of out of fashion.
Right.
In the 90s, the extreme 90s.
Sure,
The
sure.
whole look.
So I think the character design always kind of grabbed my attention, and then his power set too, because his power set for those unfamiliar is that he's got basically like a photographic memory, but he can I think it's more physical than
regarding the physicality
Yes.
of his moves. Right?
So he can watch like Captain America do a move and he can mimic it automatically, and whoever
God, if he went on So You Think You Can Dance, he would dominate.
what
Watch out, Jabberwocky.
yeah, he's
That's all I'm
using
saying. Watch out. all
he's
right?
using his powers completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I always thought that his powers were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But and I'm glad, Ed, you brought up the Deathstroke thing, because I always thought he was a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Me too.
But that's not the case.
No. But they have the same co-creator.
Exactly.
which is interesting.
And kind of like the same MO in the sense of like, the whole training multiple and young supervillains, dealing with like the
hired
mercenary
gun,
stuff.
mercenary, yeah.
Exactly. So it was kind of cool to learn that's not the case. That Taskmaster has him, beat
So-
by a couple months.
So Taskmaster came out first, is what you're saying?
May.
So then that means this was George Perez's training wheels for Deathstroke.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Essentially.
Could have refined because the design, even the initial Deathstroke design's way cooler.
Yeah,
way
because he's
slicker.
sitting here like, it's a good idea. What do I do with this?
But what I didn't know about him prior to this episode and like kind of really diving in was that he's been around. I mean, his longevity. He's been in a number of series, a number of crossovers. He's crossed over into the video games with as recently as Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He's been in series like House of M that we've covered before. He's made his crossover to like cartoons with Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assembled. He's like shown up in those. And he's also, and then when you like look at his like kind of character arc and history, like there was, I didn't know about the his powers includes amnesia. the more he uses his powers, the more his short-term and long-term memory.
He's got brain space that gets taken up.
Exactly.
By it, right?
Well, there's been some interesting stories done with that in the sense of, I think there was a 2010 series where you learn that he was a SHIELD agent who had these abilities, but the more he kept using his powers, he ends up forgetting who the fuck he was, and he kind of goes into his life of crime. So technically, like, I think they've retroconned it, later on. They kind of messed around with his origin, saying that, he was always a SHIELD agent that kind of like went astray, et cetera, et cetera.
God, I would love for a Moon Knight story to be where he just mimicked Mark Spector so bad that he thought he was Moon Knight too.
Dude,
and Moon Knight basically Moon Knight doesn't know who he is either, right? He's got multiple personalities, so like that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's weird what direction.
TM Shortbox.
Yeah, and that's weird what direction they're going to go, because I don't see him as like this.
Training the Black Widows.
Training. I don't know if they're going to do more like KG Beast kind of role with him, where he's like the KGB agent, super spy. But I don't.
I think he'll play a mentor role.
But I almost feel like he's going to be like another. Hopefully, not like another throwaway villain.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Dude,
like in the first Ant-Man movie, like when
you could do so much with the Moon Knight series. That would be an awesome. Even if they bring Daredevil back,
right?
He'd be a great Daredevil.
Because he's got real estate that gets taken up by all these moves, right? All this physical stuff. Like that's actually a really awesome idea. Now that I think of it. Hey, thanks, patrons, for making us do this. For fucking making us read these comics.
But I mean, just in the comic books alone, Taskmaster has been affiliated with pretty much every team you could think of, from S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Did he show up in Brubaker's run of Cap?
Probably. He's been associated with like the Secret Avengers, the Thunderbolt, like just about any team. He's probably been involved with a lot, which, I mean, once again, it's like he's a character I've always been aware of, but I guess I've never looked at him as a serious threat or like a serious villain. Like, I don't know if I'd say he's an A-list villain at all.
It's sad because it seems like people don't know what to do with him.
He's interesting.
Well,
and there's a lot of
does he develop more than just being in it for the money? Because, I mean, to be like an A-list villain, you got to have better backstory than just I love money.
He becomes like a mentor. Like, he trains good guys and bad guys, but he's like, with his memory issues, he'll like switch on a dime. Like, I'm a good guy now. I'm a bad guy now.
So I think I'm a good guy. He's like, I think I'm a bad guy.
Did I leave the oven on? Shit. I don't know. It's like.
So basically, he's Kevin's mom from Home Alone. Is that what you're saying?
Yo, this is Botter. Sorry for interrupting this episode, but I'll keep it brief. I wanted to let you know about a massive sale we have going on over at the Shortbox store on all of our merchandise and apparel. That's theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com. You can now save 20% off your entire order using the discount code YOO, Y-O-O. So if you've been waiting for the right time to finally buy that gauntlet snapback, or if you ever wanted to buy any of the shirts you see me wear on the podcast, well, now's your chance to get them for a steal. We still have a few sizes left of everything, but they won't last long, and once they're gone, they are gone. And then I mentioned that all of our apparel is screen printed on high quality material. None of that heat transfer or direct to garment stuff. Our shirts are some of the most comfortable ones you'll ever wear, and the hats look even better in person. So wear your support for the Shortbox Nation proudly, knowing that you're going to look damn good doing it. Get to theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com as soon as you can, and don't forget to use that discount code YOO, Y-O-O, to save 20% off your entire order. All of this information can be found in this episode's show notes if you want to get there faster. Thanks for not pressing fast forward. Now back to the show.
Yeah, but there's those kind of inconsistencies too, where we don't know, and it's kind of a thing you can really play with if you want to really go deep on this character. You can play with that ambiguity.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, what stood out about the comic? Did anything stand out about the comic?
Sweet dialogue?
Yeah, the dialogue was great. Like, I think my favorite line was it Solomon? He just yelled, "Jangle 'em, boys."
I did write that down.
Did you write that down?
It was like, Maurice Rasputin. Jangle 'em, boys.
I thought that was the name of like their weapon.
No, it's the name of the henchman.
Well, no. Well, the action of jangling something.
It was called
they
the
were called
Janglers. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Before you think of shrinking, we got these guns called, our science team developed these guns called Janglers.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. They had some bimbos thrown in there.
A couple of bimbos.
I hadn't heard that word in a long time.
Couple of boobies.
Talking.
And the costumes were so cool. Like her costume
art
with like
is-
the
yeah.
one
Oh,
leg.
yeah.
Whose costume?
Wasp.
The
Wasp,
yeah.
yeah. With just like the one
George
bare
Perez's
leg
art.
and stuff. It looked so good.
This is probably like my favorite era of George Perez. It's like I love this style. The art is great. The like
Jocasta looks so fucking cool.
Yeah,
the
she really
dimensions
does.
with their scaling up and down with size is so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Oh, and I gotta do this line from Taskmaster.
All right.
All right, my next class, one of my favorites, Dumpling.
Dumpling. Dude, okay.
Dismemberment 101.
So he's appropriated Asian culture, right? Dumpling.
That could be Southern.
And Southern, so
Okay.
that's a twofer. He says bubby, so that's fucking Jewish culture
Oh,
there
yeah.
for sure.
He does. I think he says sweet cakes. or
Sweet
cheeks.
cakes,
Yep.
obviously
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, this is like a dude from New Jersey.
Well, he's from according to his origin in 195, 196.
A true villain.
He is from the Bronx.
The Bronx.
Yeah.
He's Puerto Rican.
He's Tony Masters.
Sorry, everyone.
from the
I'm
Bronx.
sorry, everyone. That's my fault. We take ownership of Taskmaster.
And I might as well keep going.
Sorry, L Taskmaster.
He learns from a young age. Oh, I can watch I think the example he used, like he was watching a rodeo show and he could do the rope
The rope
tricks.
tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
It's
became
all-
really good at
and it's
football.
Yeah, that shit's all on Telemundo.
Yeah. Then instead of going into the lucrative multi-million-dollar career, of being a
anything
pro
else.
athlete,
Anything else.
I'm
Pick
gonna be a
anything.
criminal,
Yeah.
super criminal.
Dumb, now you
But
think
not just
about
a
it.
super criminal.
yeah.
I will give him credit for thinking, well, I don't have to get beat up in the face. I could just teach other people how to get beat up and be goons and
That
henchmen.
and like I don't, and then they put
He's an
that in
entrepreneur.
there.
He's like the entrepreneur.
And it's like I don't have to get beat up in person to like learn their moves. Like a fighter, I can just watch them on watch footage of them.
That's crazy.
I can watch Daredevil on the news and like, oh, I can do all this stuff now.
It only
Sweet.
costs him his memory.
And I don't remember
Yeah.
my birthday at Chuck E. Cheese.
Nice.
I totally forgot.
He's like, guys, I went to Showbiz Pizza and I don't remember
I
it.
don't remember.
I think my favorite page was probably 195, the very first page where it opens up and it's like
They're outside the house.
it's the Avengers
creeping.
hiding behind trees,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
trying to like.
How are you
Very
going to hide
discreet.
a fucking man in a ginormous
Dude.
iron costume?
And Beast and
Yeah, blue
Vision.
dude. And they're all like, shh, hide behind this.
It's like, is it Halloween? What's going on? What are you
Yeah, they're all looking out like, guys, I think the Avengers are outside in the front lawn.
I know. Nobody is outside
Well, look,
patrolling this
I
place.
think they don't think we see them.
Outside of Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man, who actually do a majority of the searching
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Wasp, the rest of them
We
are
can't
outside.
get a warrant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
rest of us outside having hot.
We can't get a warrant.
The rest of them are outside.
Ant-Man, break in.
Let's just have hot chocolate while we
Just
wait.
chugging hot chocolate.
Jocasta's some kind of weird robot butler waitress.
Yeah.
She's like fucking Rosie
She
from
likes-
the Jetsons.
Yes.
She's
'Cause
like,
at the-
I'm sorry,
What
Mr.
is
J.
that? What is that weird thing at the end? It's like Jocasta, we've been,
Oh.
welcome to the team. We've been.
She's like, what the fuck have I been doing the last
It's like,
10 issues?
We know
Wait.
you shot eye lasers and you're awesome. Welcome to the team, robot
Welcome to the
lady.
team, you sexy
And
robots.
Captain America's like, are you programmed for
Jocasta, are you a pleasure model?
pleasure bot?
It's like a Awesome O from South
Awesome.
Park.
Uncool.
Well, did you catch Vision whispering to her? That's a trick question.
Oh,
He's like, yo, they asked me the same thing, dog. Don't answer.
maybe I can.
But I
Scarlet
say
Witch has kicked me out of the house again.
I saw.
You-
I say that first page is what really impressed me because you got to really see like Perez
Oh, yeah.
doing his classic like I'm gonna fit
Everybody.
7 characters in one page.
700 characters,
700
one page.
And not only that, but not only did he draw the characters
draws the
really well,
house.
but he draws every detail of the house, the
Yeah.
roof, the snow like coming
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
the tree. I mean, it's super
not a
impressive.
photo that's like high
No,
contrasted out.
it's
a drawing.
it is straight,
It's very nice.
and that is why he's dealing with the health problems I think he's dealing now.
Oh,
with
bro,
his
it's why
hand being,
he's the
I mean,
taskmaster. He learned how to
He
fucking
is
draw and copy all these styles, but it
Insane.
cost him a Bermuda shirt. His fashion's gone.
But I also wanted to
He
give.
still has fetish con though.
I also want. Yeah, that's funny you bring that up because when C came over, he was like, "Hey, what is that erotic thing that Perez is into?" I was like, "Fetish con."
It's like you do it so quickly. Oh, fetish con.
But I also wanted to give credit outside of just George Perez, but the colorist Ben, I think it's Ben Sean. The colors are fantastic. Like
Yeah.
they pop. I
sure.
love like the contrast anytime.
Especially for the time with the
Oh, yeah.
technology. The colors are really well done.
But anytime like Cap and Iron Man are together, I love like that contrast
Dude,
of that light blue and the
I was
dark
about to say,
reds.
how about when you see Tony Stark inside the armor, but you see his baby blues going through. That's kind of cool, man. You see like his eyes underneath the actual like. They don't do that anymore, right?
So,
like,
how did the ants tell him what was going on when they crawled into his eyeballs?
Oh,
no, they didn't. No. He said they're not crawling inside; they're only on the outside of my faceplate.
Okay, does that answer my question?
Does he have ant? Does he have ant like programs?
You're fair.
The ants told me they're in trouble, Lassie. Timmy's in the well.
Yeah. rough, bark, rough, bow, wow.
What is that?
What's that, little Timmy?
And everybody's been captured.
I guess when you put it like that, it is a little embarrassing that it took them 7 hours, and it was like,
yeah. Like, wait a minute, they're not crawling in; they're just covering my vision.
It's not the fact that it's
how many did he kill before they were like, oh, they're on our side, and like Ant-Man comes like, did you get my message? What the fuck, dude? You killed all my friends.
I thought I left like a Tootsie Roll inside my helmet.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know. I love all that cheesy ant stuff, like all those old Avengers comics where they'd crawl and like open up a trap door underneath somebody,
or crawl through the vents.
Go to it, Scott. You've got this.
Actually, I mean, we've spoken plenty of times how like comics from this era are just very exposition heavy.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Did that stop you from enjoying the comics at all?
Oh, I liked it a lot. I mean, I think if you're like an Alan Moore fan, you can kind of handle this. So I really enjoyed it. It really
Wait,
it was like 2
explain
issues
that
too.
statement. Hold on.
Well, just when you're talking about like exposition heavy and you're used to just
this is a different type of exposition.
I resent that remark. I don't know if you understand. My comics are quite.
He didn't have to explain. A combination of disruptor blasts and biopower stings will bring the house down.
That's right.
It's fun. It's really fun.
What I will say is,
Stan Lee is like, take it easy, true believer. Take it easy with the exposition.
What I will give credit though to David Michelin is that he was able to recap, previous issues, sometimes in just half a pan. Like when Solomon is explaining like why he created, Selby the clone, which I think is overkill.
Yeah, this isn't meant for like people our age to read.
No,
like these comics at this time.
Funny.
No, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying like it's funny because like we're reading this as full-grown adults. We got to take our heart medicine and we got like fucking knee problems, and we're like reading these comics and it's like, what the fuck? This is weird. And then it's like, oh yeah, wait a minute. If I was 12, I'd be looking at this shit like it was War and Peace.
If I was 12, I'd be like, who's Yul Brynner? Why is Beast referencing Yul Brynner?
So many weird references.
That's like...
Also, Bonner and I were talking about this before the show, where he was like, Ant-Man refers to Yellow Jacket as YJ more than once.
Weird nickname.
And I'm like,
doesn't work.
Who the fuck is YJ?
I did the same thing.
I'm like, YJ. Yeah. I was like, YJ.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They were paying by the letter, I guess. The letter was like, fuck.
Right,
I'm not putting Yellow Jacket every time. YJ.
Yeah, like they're like...
His word balloons are
don't
covering up
understand
everything.
But to wrap up the exposition thing, like, think about it. This is 195, issue 195. And I didn't feel lost at all. Like, I jumped in on 195, and I read through the exposition, and I got all caught up. And I will say, I think that is the charm of older comics, is that you can really jump in at any point.
With the artwork, it's so well laid out. You kind of, okay, now I see. I don't know why this is happening, but I understand what's going on.
See, what did you think? What do you think about Taskmaster's power set and how it might translate on the big screen when it comes time for this Black Widow movie?
I mean, I think it'll work, man. And I think that they've already kind of done such a good job of setting up how fucked up Black Widow's training was back in the day. And now you have an opportunity to attach a face, if you will, to that horror, right? So like you could take somebody who was interpreted as sort of like a D-list character like Taskmaster and then suddenly bump them up to like, oh shit, evil A-list status. This guy's look, in Avengers Age of Ultron, Black Widow basically says, I can't have kids because of this training. Like, my life is permanently fucked up because of what I went through as, this weird program. And now we get to see that. And it's interesting that because now, I guess this movie also deals with family, right? Her mom, her dad, her sister, whether they are actually her mom, her dad, or her sister, or just people that have been assigned to her,
colleagues,
that she's just grown attached to, doesn't matter. Thematically, it's still the same. It's even more of an insult. And then now you have a guy like Taskmaster showing up. And I think it'll translate well. I hope it will.
And it's the right person to go against.
Sure.
He's not going against like a cosmic or a god or a cosmic.
I was about to say, it looks like the Black Widow
fights.
movie is going to be as good as the Cap 2 movie, where like she kind of stays in her lane, right?
Yeah.
She's got no powers.
Well said. That's a good point.
And I don't mean, not like, hey, fucking stay in your lane, go in the kitchen and fucking make me a sandwich. No, like
powers.
Like Cap 2 was good for the same reason. He doesn't have fucking Spider-Man's powers. Spider-Man can lift the tank and throw it at you. Cap can barely be bulletproof. Like this is like a spy thriller. And if it's a spy thriller, I will be very happy. And who better than to have somebody like the Taskmaster, he doesn't really have powers. He just has a photographic, I guess, muscle memory, right? Not nervous system. It's connected to like his muscle memory.
And you're basically telegraphing every move, especially if he's involved in that training.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be how they get past that.
Yeah.
Somebody who can mirror.
Which is fucking kind of twisted because the world owes her a favor for saving it because of her training. But the training she got is as a result of this fucked up person giving it to her.
What time is this taking place, though? Before Avengers? Is this pre-Avengers?
Yes.
Black Widow?
Yes.
Okay.
It might be. They might go back and forth. Who knows, man?
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is like just the release of this movie. Like, people have been screaming for this since the first Avengers movie. And then, better late than never, I guess. But it's like, man, they should have struck while the iron was hot.
And I think that's going to be, I've already heard that sentiment being shared. I think we'll probably see it ramped up more when the movie comes out and those reviews start coming out. But I don't think they wanted to wait this long. Granted, I think last year the movie was supposed to come out, but here we are now.
Still a long time between her
initially, period.
This could be like her second or third movie
right.
And she could have been the first female lead superhero movie before Wonder Woman. They had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, but do you really want to compare the two?
No, I'm not comparing. I'm just talking about time-wise. Just like this could have been the first, okay, we're making this statement. We're going to make this badass character. We're going to...
Well, she wouldn't be. Captain Marvel was the first.
Yeah.
No, but they could have made that
before.
They could.
Don't worry yet. I don't count it either. It's fine.
Because Avengers was 2012.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
I think this movie should have come out like 5 years ago.
Right after Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that she's technically dead in the MCU, it's. I guess you could easily kind of ask, like, why should I care? I already know the character ends up dying, but I think I'm going in kind of open mind, like some of the points that C brought in.
It's going to be good. It's just like
She ain't coming back either.
No,
that training is extensive, and she's like, bro, I like
time
hamburgers.
Multiverse. They'll bring another Black Widow from a different Earth.
Maybe.
It's going to look exactly like Scarlett.
You're right, Scarlett Johansson.
If I'm honest,
I'm going to dye her hair red again.
I don't think I'm interested in the legacy characters that we've watched for the last 10 years anymore. Like, I'm kind of on board for like seeing a new crop of characters.
Well, that's why they should have did it.
Fucking X-Men.
No, exactly. And Ed, I fully agree. Like, I think I've said it multiple times. Yeah, this movie feels like it's been long overdue. Like, I feel like they've missed the most opportune window. And then, COVID, of course, didn't help. So now we're kind of like, all right, well, I'll take it. I will take it. I'll watch it.
Sure.
I'll gladly see it. But I don't know if it's going to do much for my, I don't know. I don't know if it'll do much for my excitement. And I don't think it helps that the movie has been postponed so many times and on hold so long.
Yeah.
And I joked in the beginning, but I really do feel like hopefully, I hope not, but I feel like we've seen a lot of the good stuff via the trailers. Because that was going to be my comment, is that I was intrigued by Taskmaster from those initial trailers. Like, oh shit, he's doing the Captain America move. Yeah. Oh, he's got the Hawkeye moves. But I'm curious what else they've got in the stash to like impress me.
Rachel
with Taskmaster.
Man, come on.
No,
you know who she is?
No, who?
She's a quote unquote mom.
Oh damn!
Evie from The Mummy.
No, damn!
Yeah.
Yeah,
shit, that's right. I guess I was so only focused on
she's in
Red
Constantine.
Guardian. Okay, all right, we got it.
She's great. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a movie in a little bit, so I'm looking forward to seeing how she reacts because I think she's a good actor. I really do.
You think he'll talk a lot, or do you think they'll keep him like quiet?
Taskmaster?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I could see them not.
Who's playing him? Do we know who's playing him?
Oh shit!
Ray Park.
Shit! They ain't gonna make him say shit. Ray Park can't act for fuck. Like if it's someone who's like a well-renowned actor,
they would have shown his face by now.
I mean, maybe. They might
Damn,
be
yeah, you're
playing
right. I
that-
don't think I've seen his
They
face.
would've shown
They
us.
might be.
hell.
They might be playing that close to the
Terry
chest.
Crews.
It's
Oh, it is.
yeah. They
Oh,
don't,
shit.
they don't say it.
Oh,
No, whoa, no,
He's
no,
all
no
CGI.
way. What am I just knowing this now?
They are
Let's see.
keeping that
We
close.
got
Oh.
David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, O.T.
Wheeze. I just said Weiss, man.
Oh, sorry. Nice. I want. Well, they've got. They credit muscular gulag inmate before
Whoa.
Taskmaster on this IMDb. So
Who's the muscular gulag inmate? Maybe he's.
Olivier Richters? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Some big ass dude on the
They
IMDb.
don't have Taskmaster. That's crazy.
No,
Yeah.
damn. Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be somebody
It's all
big.
CGI.
Ashley, I'm asking you right now. Do you play Taskmaster in this movie?
Oh,
I'm asking you right now as a friend.
No.
I cannot comment.
Oh, it's not no. It's not a no.
Ashley's like, you idiot. I'm Loki. I've been Loki this whole time.
Ashley, did this comic respect your time? Did these comics? Sorry, it's plural. Did they respect your time?
Here we
Yeah, I really oddly enjoyed it because I
They're fun.
finished the first one last night and then I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, Taskmaster. Like I was so
Yeah.
excited. Like
I
I
did the
read it
same
on my
thing.
lunch break. Yeah.
go. That's funny.
It's like he doesn't even come in until the last page. I'm like, where's
Yeah.
Taskmaster?
It's just
Oh,
like
there he
that
is.
old comic excitement that you
Hey,
get.
Toots, I'm the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubby.
Hey, Bobby.
You know what's crazy? I read these comics and I thought of Unbreakable. Like the way Sam Jackson starts explaining comics back in the day, like in issue number 12 of this, Jaguaro said this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow, I'm reading the comics that are from that time. Like these comics exist outside of like an age where we're living in the age of prestige comics.
Oh, yeah.
Where like there's story arcs that go like whole years, right? In an age of Jonathan Hickman where he's fucking stretching shit out for literally like 5 years. You have these
Most
two,
of that is because he's late all the time.
it's true.
Yeah,
You have these two comics that kind of stick out and remind you that, damn, you could go to like a Winn-Dixie, a Publix, a Safeway, a Pathmark, a Food Line, whatever, and buy something off a spinner rack
Yeah.
and
It's a different
get
mindset back
entertained
then.
for like an hour and be like, huh, well, that was cool. Like art's good, story's interesting, moving on,
And how cool is it that this character, which I'm assuming they
No,
probably
I said everything.
had
that you
no
need to say.
plans.
Don't ever interrupt me again. I tell you.
How cool is that Taskmaster has survived, what, 20, almost 40, almost maybe 40 plus
Yeah.
years if my math is right?
It's wrong, but yes. no, I just want to say that.
And did this comic respect your time?
I liked it. It's a throwback, and like I said, I haven't read these before, so it was just once I got past kind of just like the really goofy exposition and stuff, but I love the art. The art is like fantastic. It's like my favorite George Perez era.
Oh, yeah.
It's like his 80s stuff.
Hell yeah.
like Teen Titans and this. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Like I said, it's very clear storytelling, very unusual and strange. This is a crazy, Jack Kirby came in and designed their science lab. And it's like,
For sure.
it's like, you can make colognes here? What kind of...
Yeah,
what
that
is
was a...
this? This is like, is this ain't? What is this? It's like, I just got my guys to make colognes. Just my science guys, this Taskmaster called them. My science guys. This guy made my science guys
He's
make him a
definitely
clone.
from Jersey.
Dude, such a zany
Science guys.
plot.
He
I
comes
mean,
in
Yeah.
with a ship, just descends onto the building, just very...
like a straight badass.
no
Come on.
subtlety at all for
Where was he
Taskmaster.
before? Where, what,
was in
Bahamas or
Nah,
Yeah,
he,
he was
he was in a he was at the bodega picking up like
yo,
a ham and cheese.
the nicest slice in New
He was
York?
at the theater watching MCU movies, learning moves.
Yeah. I did have I did want to recommend a series if anyone is interested in kind of continuing down this Taskmaster rabbit hole. This recommendation actually comes from Drew. It is a 2020 series, a very recent Taskmaster series that was written by Jed McKay and then art by Alessandro Vetti. And it's about the Taskmaster on the run from every assassin and spy in the Marvel universe for seemingly killing Maria Hill.
John Wick as the Taskmaster.
Yeah, essentially. Which I think, I think those are probably the stories that really lend itself to Taskmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Or those on the run, espionage, whatnot. But Drew spoke very highly of this series, and I had it saved. It's actually on the Marvel Unlimited app, so I had it saved. So for anyone that's interested in going down that Taskmaster rabbit hole, check that out. I think we're at a good stopping point for this first half. I want to go ahead and thank our Patreon subscribers for selecting this. Like I said, they had the options between 2 Black Widow comic series, and then, you know, I threw in Taskmaster's first appearance for shits and giggles, and it seemed to really kind of take off. So shout outs to our Patreon subscribers. And since we spent so much time on retro comics, I'd like to go ahead and end this first half of the show by spotlighting some newer comics. Shortbox Nation, it's time for the first recurring segment of the show, Fistful of Comics.
You can either have a mouthful of teeth or a fistful of comics.
This segment is sponsored by Gotham City Limit, Jacksonville's premier shop for comics, toys, collectibles, and more. If you live in the area or ever find yourself passing through Jack's, stop by the shop on Southside Boulevard and tell them Shortbox sent you. This is our segment of the show where we this is our segment of the show, where we meet at high noon for a showdown involving our best new comic
Did
picks
you write that?
of the week. I did.
Oh my lord!
Good.
It sounds forced.
Oh, God damn.
It sounds forced.
I'll try that again next year. I'll try again next week.
Just rehearse
I'll
it.
try again next
We'll do a quick take, and then it's fine. If you were here all the time, it might be a better instead of basically.
Howdy, partners.
Wait, I was here on time.
Oh no. Let's ask your other podcasts if you ever mess up like that on their show.
Well-oiled machine.
Records are cool.
All right, you son of a bitch. Ashley, kick us off today. What's your weapon of choice today?
Oh my god!
It was like the Fistful of the High Noon, the Western theme.
Howdy, partners! Welcome to
right.
Fistful of Comics.
I try to bring something, try to spruce it up, make it fun. And this
I'll roll with it.
This is what you had.
God bless you. Ashley's a damn saint.
So this is funny because I saw what your pick was, Botter.
Okay.
And it's the same pick as
Really?
mine. And
Get
I
the fuck
was
out of here.
Yeah,
I was
win.
gonna
Wait,
change
what? No?
it, but this book was so honest to God, like the best book I've
wanna tag
read
team
in
this
the past.
spotlight?
Yes.
What is the book? Actually, what is
It
the book?
is Planet Size X-Men.
Fuck yeah.
Number 1.
You get one of these.
For the 4th time. But who's counting?
Okay.
It was so good. Like it had like this, it was Jerry Dugan, right?
Yeah.
But it had like this Hickman like east of west feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It had these creatures and this whole other planet. Like it was so good. It's a one shot, right?
Yes, but it
And it picks up later.
Yeah, I'll jump in here with you because we're sharing the same new comic. But Planet Size X-Men. So this was released last month, June 16th, and it came right after X-Men 21, which came out earlier in June. It essentially goes straight from 21 into this, and this is supposed to serve as a bridge into the new X-Men series that's launching under Gary Dugan and Pepe Larraz. So the same team that did this book, which, I mean, come on, this book looks fucking amazing. Pepe Larraz,
Yeah,
the art is insane.
Like indescribable. It's so good.
And the fact that he's moving on to this main X-Men line that's relaunching with number 1 in July, I think July 7th or something. I'm excited. I'm like, yo, I'm on board. And everything you said is correct. It looks amazing, and some of the stuff they do in this is incredible. I got to ask, have you been keeping up with X-Men, or are you caught up with X-Men?
I've kind of been like dipping in here and there, but I haven't been keeping up with it. But this, you didn't really, like, I just jumped in and
I'm so
knew
glad
what
you
was
said
happening.
that, because I was going to recommend to anyone listening that's been kind of like on the fence or even like interested in the Dawn of X relaunch and X-Men stuff, that this is a good jumping on point. And the fact that you were able to follow along pretty well, not get lost is a good sign, because as someone who has literally caught up with X-Men in the last 2 weeks, there's so much payoff in this. It's like, oh, damn it. Okay, that's not a dead plot point or this and that. Yeah, I recommend it. Damn, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I actually, if you have the time, I would go back and revisit at least the main X-Men line. I know there's a bunch of series you could jump into, but the main X-Men line will really enhance this one.
If you liked that, did you read the House of X, Powers of X?
No, I never did.
Oh shit!
I recommend finding if you want, I'll let you borrow the trade. It's the art's as good and the story's just as bonkers. And what gets me and what always got me when I was younger, as far as X-Men was concerned, was weird stuff. Because like for me, X-Men when I was growing up was the equivalent of Saga. It was like, so like, what the fuck? Like they're in space? Oh wait, now they're not in space. Now they're in hell. Wait, what? What's happening?
Savage
like,
Land.
Yeah. Now there's dinosaurs. Like it's all like that's what it was for me. Like when I was reading it in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of a return to form.
Mm-hmm.
So like both of you guys kind of championing, well, I guess Fistful of Comicing this. I was
That's
like,
right, partner.
yeah, right. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I feel kind of bad. I haven't jumped on this.
That's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, it's all about the creatures for me.
Little salamanders, just like Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles. It's like
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
I won't lie. The fact that Ashley picked the same comic as I do, I feel like I've got so much cool points. Because Ashley, you have a track record of picking some cool.
Well, I mean,
books,
she's got them for sure.
See, what's your new comic spotlight?
Mortal Hulk.
Believe it or not,
Oh.
I almost did. Almost just to say if I get away with it. Heavy Metal magazine.
Fun, yeah.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to sound weird, but it's kind of a letdown because Heavy Metal magazine is basically what Marvel and Image is right now. And DC, like, there's nothing really weird or subversive about
boobs?
Heavy Metal. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
but the draw was that you had all these like talented artists from other countries,
Like an anthology.
sort of like providing an
Yeah.
anthology comic to you that you wouldn't get normally. But now,
I
DC,
see where you're going
Marvel,
with that.
Image, all these Dark Horse, everybody is already outsourcing their comics to different parts of the world. So you already get that fresh perspective. And not that Heavy Metal has seen its heyday or it's done with. But this specific issue, I was kind of like, wow. It's like my eyes were open. Like I was like, damn, like Heavy Metal now is starting to try and mimic what Image is doing, which is strange. It's an American company. Like bizarre. This is bizarre. But none the same. I picked it up. I read it and I enjoyed my time.
All right. Well, we
Was
clearly
that-
know who's not winning this one.
I don't know. That was like a very
See, I win because it's different.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Ed, what new comic you got to spotlight today?
Just came out. Vault Comics Barbaric.
What?
It is awesome. It is and they did like a really cool homage to Barry Windsor Smith.
Oh, shit.
But it's basically a kind of like a Conan type character who's just killing, sleeping around with women and killing more people, and then he
Sounds like
basically-
Botter.
I was gonna say, is this a club I could sign up for?
It's funny because they show some funny panels. It's a very funny book. It's got some really kind of over the top violence like you would like in an old school Conan book. But basically, he is poisoned by these 3 witches, but he has to do good. That's his curse. So and he's like a very amoral, berserker type character.
Awesome.
And his axe basically has a face, has kind of a skull face on one of the edges, and it's a talking axe. And it basically tells him who he can kill and who he can't kill.
Oh, that's great.
Like if they're evil or, if someone's just like a thief.
Like the Sorting Hat.
Yeah. And it's like, but no one can hear this axe but him. So he's talking to this axe in like a pub and people think he's batshit crazy. So he's like, are you talking to your axe? And like everyone else sees it as an axe because it's a, magical weapon. So there's like, and the humor is very like a dry, droll kind of humor. There's a scene where he's like in this kind of a gladiator scenario, and there's these 3 guys. He's basically pit against 3 guys, and the axe is telling him these 2 are murderers. Kill them. This guy's just a thief. Don't bother with him. And then like said, and he basically repeats what the axe said. Is like, okay, it's like I'm just gonna kill you twos. You're not worth being killed. And the guy's like, okay, cool. He just walks away. And there's like a scene where the witches basically give him the choice of holding on to this curse or being sent to hell. And then it goes back to him on like the ship. And it's like, can I see hell again? It's like very funny, like humor like that. The art's really good. It's just seems like a very fun book. This is, I think, Vault's most ordered number 1 they've had in their history. So it's already getting a lot of good publicity, good reviews.
Bolts come out pretty strong,
They've
some
got
strong
good
number
stuff.
ones
Good.
for sure.
They got some good. This has like, I think this can be like a little like a sleeper hit.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, it's a very fun book if you like Conan and you want like a little twist on like kind of that Conan type swords and sorcery stuff. It's a really fun book.
Good stuff. All right. We got some good picks this week. Before we wrap this segment up and go on break, our friends at Gotham City Limit want to share their top 3 new comics coming to a shop near you. These are titles they suggest all comic fans don't miss out on. So put these on your pull list or order for them before the final order cutoff date of July 12th. You don't want to miss any of these if any of these pique your interest. The first pick we've got here is Transformers King Grimlock #1 is from IDW by Steve Orlando and artist Augustin Padilla. We find Grimlock, the beloved powerhouse T-Rex, beginning his own 5-part series. Pick #2 from Gotham City Limit is The Me You Love in the Dark #1. It's written by Scotty Young with artist Jorge Corona. They're back with a brand new Haunting Tale. Fans of Stephen King and Neil Gaiman will enjoy this beautiful, dark, and disturbing story of discovery, love, and terror. And last but not least, on Ben's top 3 picks is The Joker presents a Puzzle Box #1, of course, by DC Comics, written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Jesus Marino and a bunch of other rising star artists. The Gotham City Police Department discover a mysterious corpse, a magical box, and a murderer's row of the city's most dangerous villains sitting in a jail cell. And the only suspect willing to talk, unfortunately, is the Joker. So if any of those comics piqued your interest, please go to your local comic shop or purchase them from your digital comic platform of choice. Shout outs to Ben and the rest of the Gotham City Limit crew.
Yeah, they're trying to look out for you, by the way. Like
sure.
The reason why we're telling you this is because Ben knows. Like, he's been doing this long enough to understand that, hey, this shit's going to sell out, and if you don't jump on this, you're going to look like a freaking idiot on Wednesday. So don't sleep on it, man. He's trying to do you a favor.
And that actually marks the end of our first half. We're going to go on a quick music break. So this is the part that you get to relax for a little bit, enjoy some tunes from our man, Mecha the Marvelous. This week's instrumental is titled Prius. So don't press nothing. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. This short box watermelon pina colada is so tasty.
Especially when I make it, and it tastes like dog shit.
I know.
I won't lie, mine does not taste the same way Ashley's
Nowhere
tastes.
near as good.
Matter of fact, it's too strong, not sweet enough. Like, it's not good. Damn it, Ashley. I should have let you know.
Ashley's like, the secret ingredient is death.
The
I don't know if you guys know this. It's murder. We're like, Ashley, seriously.
And she walks out, mic drop, happy 5 years, bitches.
Yeah.
That's for 5 years of my life.
Why did you do this at year 2 or something?
Quote unquote brothers.
Right.
Sleep well, brothers. Sleep well.
Oh, damn, that's good. Oh, man. Short Recognition, we are back. Once again, that little tune was called Prius. And if you liked that, check out more music by Mecha the Marvelous on Spotify or Apple Music. Or hell, support him directly by buying some music from his Bandcamp. We've got that linked in the show notes for you. Speaking about, I had brought up, patrons helped us pick the topic for this week's episode. I wanted to follow up and share with you guys the results of this month's Artist Spotlight poll.
Boy.
So Cesar ended up picking the candidates for next month's Artist Spotlight. It was between Bruce Timm, Junji Ito, and Mobius, which I felt was like a very strong 3. Guess who ended up coming out on top of it?
Mobius.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
He won with 50% of the votes.
That's surprising, but awesome.
Right.
I really thought Bruce
Right.
Timm was going to sweep
I know.
this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're picking Bruce Timm all day.
Yeah.
But Bruce Timm came in at second place with 33% of the votes, and Junji Ito with the remaining 17%, respectively. So next month, we will be recording and releasing our Mobius Artist Spotlight. And I'll probably,
mon ami.
and I'll probably pick the poll for the next one, which probably won't be nearly as good as this one, but
To be expected.
All right. With that being said, I want to move on to some emails. We've got about 3. And not only do we have emails, but we can finally pick our winner for this bag of coffee from the new Threat Supply.
We need to talk. I didn't even
Bold
know
Bean
we were fucking in the
collab.
coffee business. That shit is
No.
weird.
Well,
You're just throwing everything at our people now, man.
I'm trying to spread the local love here in Jax. It's sharing some good brew because I think Coffee and Comics is a great collab.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just out here trying to look out
That's
for
the name
our
of
people.
his other podcast.
You right? Coffee and Comics, starring not us.
Yeah.
And thank God for that. I'm going to start off with this email.
I'm about to kill Warren. All right? I'm about to just Kill Bill style eliminate all your potential co-hosts.
Well, I'd like to go ahead and please don't do that.
I'll just poach everybody from under you. Yo, me and Warren are starting a podcast now called Fuck Botter. New hit podcast recorded on Friday nights.
Damn, the same time that we do our pod boys? Damn it,
I'm
man.
just saying.
All right, well, I want to start off with this email from David Morales, which is appropriately titled Drink Me. So,
Oh my God.
which is also a little, you know,
It's a little Alice in
little out
Wonderland
there,
here.
but
Okay,
hit it.
here we go. Salutations, Shortbox. First off, I just want to say I really enjoyed the Loki episodes this month and found the interviews with Eli Schwab and with Dave and Nicole to be pretty insightful. I'm sold on Everyone is Tulip and love Schwab's message to get out there and just create. Hearing how fellow creators come together to lift each other up is just so wholesome and encouraging for those in the field. Just be careful about, quote, selling out, unquote, as Dave Baker warns. You just never know if you're creating the next blockbuster or on track for the next Bitcoin craze. I've been reading and watching some new stuff, but can't recommend anything unique with confidence except for Ultra Mega, which Corey Torgeson has already
So
touched on. I will always
And
recommend...
Botter and Ed.
Right,
Thanks.
right.
Oh, thanks, David. Thank you.
Jesus.
I will block his email address going forward. Don't worry about it.
I will, however, always recommend One Piece. It's never too late, right, Drew? Anyway, my
Only
champion...
8,000 episodes
Right.
to catch up on.
Yo, honestly, Drew is like on episode 500, some
it's
crazy
ridiculous.
number, but good.
Anyways, my champions for this week are for the palate. Oh, the palate, yes. Okay, for food. I don't know if this is spelled the right way. I took Ed's recommendation and enjoyed Bolt City's Duval Light.
Yeah.
And in response, I would like to present two of my favorites. I implore you to treat yourself to Aardwolf's Adelwolf and Little Hans. These are two of the most refreshing beers to have ever graced my lips, and I can't recommend them enough. That is sexual, David. You should know better. Should know better. We're going to have a talk later, David. Adelwolf is simply the perfect Pilsner. Light floral notes with a low to medium mouth feel and a crisp finish that will leave
What is
you...
he describing?
Low to medium
Okay,
mouth.
okay. Give him a chance.
Okay.
Give him a chance.
Sorry,
and a crisp finish that will leave you ordering glass after glass on a hot summer day. Good.
Jesus.
Or David, or on any day, for that matter. He's actually selling me on this shit.
That sounds delicious, but very sexual.
I know,
know.
right? Like, is this a
Mouth
Prince
motion?
song, or
What
is
did he
this
say?
like fucking
Mouth motion? What is he talking
He
about?
said medium mouth feel.
Mouthfeel.
Was a raspberry
Oh.
beret.
Goosebumps. Wow.
While the Little Hans is a fantastic Vienna lager with medium mouthfeel and sweet malty notes that beer drinkers of all walks can enjoy. Now, regarding those IPAs you've been collecting, if you're ever in need of getting rid of them, then please consider donating to the Dry Biscuits of America Foundation. They help quench the mouths of thirsty little biscuits throughout Duval. You can reach out to them via the email or DMing Brother Biscuits. Just give them to me, por favor. Before I sign off, I just want to give out one more cry for a Junji Ito spotlight. You're welcome, C. Keep it geeky. Thank you, David. Thank you,
Yeah,
for God's
thanks,
sakes.
David.
It's not going to be the last time. I will keep pushing for Junji Ito.
Halloween.
Yeah. Fuck.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Book
all
it.
right. That's three, right?
Book
Three
it.
to
Yeah.
3-1.
3-1.
Botter obviously doesn't want to do this. So,
Oh my God. He's.
I'll do whatever the listeners want and need.
but not your family, right? Yeah. You'll just cheat on us. You'll just fucking cheat on us.
Yeah.
Cool.
I set myself up. for
No,
that.
no. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
All right. So, does anyone is anyone willing to go out and seek out these beers that David has so sexually
sure.
described
Yeah. I
and give
mean,
them a shot?
look, I'm a
Tell me about the
pervert.
mouthfeels. I want to know about the
I'm a
mouthfeels.
pervert, so I want to wrap my mouth around this beer
know.
that he's talking.
I know.
talking
Does
about.
he have a recommendation for something that has a large mouthfeel?
I don't want to know.
Large mouth.
You know what?
I don't
That's-
want to know.
You know what?
Ashley,
Let's-
you don't want to know the
I
answer.
said it with a straight
You
face.
don't want to.
You did, and now I see the tears building up in your eyes. It's okay to cry.
Don't
or
want the
laugh.
answer to that.
Oh,
Well, here's what we'll do.
We're all trying so hard,
I can-
Ashley.
well,
we're trying so
We're all
hard.
trying to get home safely.
no, they're just.
Here's what I'll do to close out this.
Large mouth feel.
We'll turn this around on David and challenge him to give us a recommendation, a beer recommendation for a large mouthfeel. Whatever.
Does he
that
want
may
his
be.
own damn segment like David Morales?
He's gonna need to cut. He's gonna need to cut his emails in half if he's gonna get his own segment like that.
You want this beer? Stick it in your dick hole.
Yeah, I gotta edit that out.
Oh my god,
David.
No, Ashley's laughing. No, that's good shit. That's how you know it's good.
True. That is a good litmus test.
Okay.
All right, you got that. David, thank you so much for the email. I've got your name down for this coffee. Let's move on to our other two emails.
Next email.
Both of them being first-time emailers.
Oh, God. After that last one. Here we go. Longtime listener, first-time emailer, Andy Callahan. I'll keep my first email short. I've been listening to the podcast for a few years now.
Hell yeah.
The show is great. The show is great. Has championed several things that I like otherwise that I wouldn't have known, like TKO Comics,
Hell yeah.
Cartoonist Kayfabe, and My Dad Wrote a Porno.
yes,
So I
Throwback champion.
nice.
So I wanted to give thanks. Also, I want a free bag of coffee. Keep up the good work.
I respect his honesty.
That's you know,
I know.
Andy from Jack's Beach.
Yeah,
Thanks, Andy.
he used to come into the comic shop when I worked there. He kept trying to get me to read Joe Hill, and I still haven't gotten into it. Like Lock and Key.
How did he try? Was he aggressive? Was he weird?
Well,
Spill it.
Yeah.
no, he just kept saying how good it was, and it's just like there's too much of it. It's just hard to start something like that.
We got your number, Andy. We're fucking keeping our eye on you.
Andy, you already know how we do it. Thank you so much for that email.
Andy.
None of that's a surprise for
We
him.
love you, man. Sorry.
All right, I've got Andy down for this bag of coffee, and we got one more email once again from a
Here we
new listener, new emailer.
I can't wait. All right. This one's from Carissa Marquez. Hello, Shortbox friends. I haven't read too many comics, but I do love coffee and podcasts, so I'll have to listen to yours. One comic, it's not traditional action/hero one, that is super binge-worthy is Lore Olympus. It's on Webtoon and follows the lives of the Greek gods and mythology, but set in the 21st century. It's kind of like a rom-com, and in parentheses she's put icy, so like rom-comic. I like that.
Oh, that's clever.
It's cute.
Stealing it. Steal that shit.
And I absolutely love it. Sincerely, Carissa Marquez.
Thank you, Carissa.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so we've got.
I like the Webtoon shit too, Carissa. I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and
No, I'll do it. You don't do shit.
No.
Come
I was going to give her a
dare you.
recommendation because she said she hasn't quite listened to the show yet. Might I recommend the Justin Jordan episode that we did when we interviewed Justin Jordan because he had a Webtoons comic that was super big called Urban Animal. There
Yep,
we go.
I would say Urban Animals is a good place to
Absolutely.
look.
So check out our Justin Jordan
I think
episode.
you'd like that, Carissa.
And I've got three. We've got three submissions for
Here
this
we
bag
go.
of coffee. I've got the wheel of names pulled up. We've got David, we've got Andy, and we've got Carissa. I'm gonna hit spin on the
Here we
wheel,
go.
and
Here
the
we
winner's
go.
about to be announced in 3, 2, 1. Oh God! Wow.
David, you better dip your dick in this coffee. It's got a large mouth feel, and I think you're ready for it. Wait a minute. David
man.
Morales is the winner.
Damn, David, I will reach out to you to get you this bag of coffee.
Bonner, don't you edit this shit. These are good jokes.
Yes, I'll leave all
are
of
solid
this. I'll leave
jokes.
all of this gold in here.
This is good.
Ashley, I've never seen you cry so much.
Yeah, because I'm
I
fucking
know.
funny, Bonner. You've missed it because you haven't
Hey,
been
wait,
here.
well, technically, is it because you're just really tired of recording on a Friday night and it's really late already?
It's all of it. All of it. My face hurts. It really does.
All right, fair enough. All right, so our coffee giveaway is done, but you know what they say about vacuums and voids and nature loathing those? I've already got another giveaway. Ed, don't ask too many questions.
What the
Don't be wrong.
fuck kind of transition was that?
Was that? Is this some Neil Gaiman starter kit?
No,
bullshit?
you know, like nature loathes a void, something like that. Okay.
Hey
look.
guys, remember when Bonner was going to cut my jokes for the sake of this shit? Yeah, let's remember that.
The whole mood just turned.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't. I didn't mean to.
Let's kill him, guys. Yeah.
All right. How about it? I had nothing for a transition.
That is good. Don't
I had
edit
nothing
that
for a
shit out.
transition.
That's
Okay.
glorious.
All right. Look, what I meant to say was I've got another contest already. So if you missed out on the
Just say
coffee,
that.
then I wanted to be
Quit
fair.
trying
Yo,
to fucking jerk off in front of the audience. Guys, I'm smart. Remember quotes?
don't use that phrase ever. All right.
remember quotes?
We've already got another contest lined up, and it's bigger and better than ever. Our friends over at Black Hive Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Man, look, They want to give not one, but 2 lucky winners a tattoo session with the head honcho himself. That is one thing about Black Hive Tattoo. They have a very impressive lineup of artists, but the head honcho himself, Nick Wagner, he's itching to ink some new Scotty Young Marvel character designs on some short box peeps. So listen very closely as I share with you how to enter in this contest and get some rad new ink from Black Hive Tattoo. For starters, you need to either live in the area or be able to attend the appointment in person at the Black Hive Tattoo Shop here in Jacksonville.
Right.
If that's no problem for you, then let's keep it moving, baby. You're going to leave a 5-star rating and review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts or any other podcast platform like Podchaser, Stitcher, or CastBox. You're going to send us a screenshot of that review, either by email or message us on social media. Either way
Prove
works.
that shit.
Absolutely. And we'll even take a old review. If you've already submitted a review and rating, that's fine. Send that our way. I'll get you entered. We'll enter you in the raffle taking place at the end of the month. You've got until June 31st to send us your submission. Bonus points, if you're an existing Patreon subscriber, you'll automatically be rewarded an extra raffle ticket. So if you want to increase your chances, consider becoming a patron of the show. We've got a link to our Patreon in the show notes, of course. First place winners will get to pick from 11 available designs hand-selected by Nick Wagner, or have the option to switch it out for any Scotty Young drawing of a Marvel character that you want.
Come on, guys.
Second place winners will get to pick from the remaining pre-chosen designs, and there's even a third place winner as well. They win some cool shirts and other merch from Black Hive Tattoo. We'll post a few of the designs on our social media pages later this week, so make sure you're following us on Instagram and Twitter, and then we'll also post the full set of images and the full contest rules for everyone to see on our Patreon page. It'll be a public post, so you won't have to worry about access.
Honestly, like you could go to any tattoo shop, and usually, like if there's like a Friday the 13th deal, they'll give you, hey, a small little flash tattoo for $13, goo, whatever. Fuck that shit, man. Like they're telling you, all you got to do is leave a nice review, take a picture of it, and then you get your chance to pick out of a Scotty Young or 11 other designs that these brilliant people have decided to fucking throw your way for fucking free. Come on now, you guys gonna sleep on this deal? Just jump on this heathen shit and become a tattooed fucking phenomenon in your town. What's the matter with you?
For sure. Well said. I'm actually going to leave it at that. Jump on this while you can. You got a whole month. Just leave a rating and review. Send it our way. Done deal. We'll take care of the rest. With all that being shared, it's time to wrap up this very
the show? See you later,
wild,
man.
exclusive
okay.
show. All right. With our last recurring segment, the long-time staple that is our champion season. It's the part of the show where we highlight other worthwhile entertainment and recommendations that we feel deserves your attention. These could be much more than comics, but could also include our movie picks, TV series, books, or video games, and anything else that we're hyped on this week. This segment is brought to you by Black Hive Tattoo, Jacksonville's premier appointment-only custom tattoo studio. If you're searching for a group of talented artists who will work with you or bring your comic culture ideas to life, then look no further. Go to blackhive.tattoo.com and sign up for their newsletter to find out when they're taking new project requests. Ed, how about you go and kick us off for this segment? What are you going to champion today?
I'm going to champion Viz. Has basically, they've been doing a lot of great Junji Ito
Viz Big?
hardbacks.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Viz Media.
Okay,
Viz Media. Yep. Or Viz Select from back in the day. But they are reprinting volumes of Fist of the North Star.
God damn it, Ed.
Which is awesome, which I bought on eBay before I heard that this was coming out.
That goes my money.
But
about to order that shit right now.
It's another nice little hardcover in kind of the vein of the Junji Ito stuff. So there's some color pages in there, and like I said, it's very nice reproductions. Like I have the original comics from the late 80s that I got from eBay, and a lot of the art didn't transfer well. It was like blown up and like kind of blown out, so it wasn't quite as bad as a Xerox copy stapled together into a comic, but it's like a Xerox copy stapled into a comic. So this is a nice pristine new edition from, the kind of the Japanese, from right to left, so there's no confusion. Yep, that's it. That's the one. And like I said, it's beautiful. Another beautiful collection. Whoever is
holy shit
doing the book design, like I said, if is Fist of the North Star, like, a great story. No.
Look, if you like Mad Max,
If you like Mad Max, if you like a big, muscly badass,
just punching,
Yeah.
honestly, if you like Luther Strode,
Yeah.
fucking jump on Fist of the North Star. I think
it's very straightforward, kind of your standard Japanese tropes at the time, like, you know, kind of your silent protagonist. Yeah, the annoying kid sidekick, you know, but like I said, a crazy, you know, mysterious martial art set in a Mad Max apocalyptic world. Great stuff, you know, just fun start. If you're going to get it, simple story, a lot of action, a lot of like people getting punched and exploding. It's awesome.
story of my life.
It's awesome. It's fun stuff. It's nice to see like a good quality translated reproduction of this series, and they're starting those just came out, I think maybe a month or so ago. So it's pretty new.
Nice stuff. The only reason I yelled holy shit in the middle of your explanation is that they got a paperback price for like $175 on here.
It's
What
a small,
the hell?
it's kind of like the Ito size book. So like the digest size, but it's a hardback. It's a hardcover.
Oh, well, I'm saying the hardcover was reasonable, like 17, but the paperback they have listed on there is $175.
That's for like the original.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's hard to find. Like, I got a good deal on the Viz Select comics, but like I said, they're not the best translation at the time. Like a lot of the grayscale and the zip tones, like we were talking about, they didn't translate well. So a lot of those copies got a lot of blown out images, so you don't really see the detail. But this is a nice, very faithful translation and reproduction. So it's worth checking out.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Steve, what about you, man? What you got to champion today?
So I got two things, actually three things, if you will, and they're all Ghostbusters. I know, right? Can you believe it?
Wow.
The Ghostbusters comics that I think IDW is putting out are fucking amazing. And I know there are people out there like myself who, not so quietly, judge intellectual property comics. You know, like, oh, you read fucking Doctor Who? Ew, that's not real art. What the fuck's the matter with you, right? This shit is so good, so clean, and so original that you forget. And it feels so fun. I don't know how else to sell it. Second thing I'm going to champion is the Ghostbusters video game that came out around 2015, I think. But it was written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. And has Harold Ramis's pretty much last work with anything to do with Ghostbusters.
That like the script for 3? Or
it was a loose script.
Gotcha.
You know, they, you know, to sell the game, they were like, this is the movie that we never made, you know? And granted, you know, you're like, that's kind of horseshit.
Because you play like, sorry to interrupt, but you play like a new recruit getting trained, right?
Yes.
That's the theme. Yeah,
yep.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so much fun. I mean, let's just say this. They actually got Max von Sydow to come back to do the voice of Vigo. But he's not in any of the story capacity. He's just the painting at the Ghost headquarters. They have the painting from Ghostbusters 2, and you can interact, and all he does is just say shit to you, like, you will be destroyed. I will destroy the Scourge. But then, like,
what, the paintings at the firehouse?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
For every 5 doom and gloom sentences he says, he'll have one where he's just kind of like, I'm bored. Where it's like, oh, okay, he's come to peace with I'm never leaving this place. And I have to deal with these losers. These exterminators. And my final piece of Ghostbusters accoutrement is the ultimate visual history. It's fucking great. And it's got a lot of cool concept art. Ed already looked at this. Ashley, have a look. It's fun.
It's beautiful.
It's super cheap too. It has a lot of really interesting facts about the movie, to include not just the movie, but the video game, the show, The Real Ghostbusters, basically any and all possible casting decisions, why they chose the designs of different ghosts. You know, a lot of stuff that if you're a fan, you kind of know most of this trivia, but there's a lot more in there that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know. So it's fun I have it right by my nightstand, and I just fucking just pick it up and read a little bit and then just put it down and go to sleep. But it's a really fun book, especially if you're like, man, this is like one of the greatest comedies. And to my knowledge, I think Ghostbusters is the most successful comedy film ever. Yeah. Financially, if I'm not mistaken. You know, with the context of time and when it came out and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's a must-have if you're a fan.
Yeah, if you like storyboard art, production art, behind the scenes stuff, it's a
Dan Aykroyd does the intro
Oh,
to
my
the
God.
book, and so does Ivan Reitman.
Does he mention lizard people and aliens?
I mean, he does enough of that. You don't need to buy the book to get that, Of course, everybody knows that the protoplasmic reticulum regarding all of these things is absolutely true. And if there are aliens, they will definitely not come to this dimension or a near dimension closely related to ours. Drink Crystal Skull Head vodka.
This might be the most organized champion selection that you've probably had.
It's getting you off, isn't it?
Yeah, wow. Oh, 3. He had for all 3. Yeah, that's fucking impressive.
It's like 6 episodes worth of champions.
I'm done now.
That's
no
good
more champions for the rest
Those are
of the
my
year.
Fistful of
That
Comics
is
as well, by the way.
good
Sorry, guys.
You could have spread this out to 3 champions, 3 weeks.
I should've.
Rookie move.
Oh man!
Just wait till I come back after I've played Doom Eternal.
But just to second that, I looked at the comic and the book. It's I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. That's probably one of my top 5 favorite.
We've talked
movies.
about real Ghostbusters before.
And the cartoon and even the bad 90s extreme Ghostbusters
Right.
cartoon. But it's a cool book. The comic looks really good. I'm like I said, IDW has been doing fantastic work with the Turtles
Yes.
IP.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
They do a crossover.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it looks really good. I'm definitely going to check it out too. So
Just the artist renditions of characters that
Yeah.
you're like, fuck. The girl that Peter Venkman is trying to scam on in the very opening scene
Yeah.
of Ghostbusters ends up becoming a fortune teller.
that's funny.
So you're like, oh shit. And you can tell it's her. And they mention her character's name. And Ray's having a conversation with her. It's so good. It's great. H.P. Lovecraft meets, exterminators. So,
It's really cool.
yeah.
Ashley, what you got at champion?
So you guys already know you should be watching Loki, right? I don't know. I'm not even going to waste my time championing it.
I did my homework, man.
It's okay. It's fine. It's a fine
I guess.
show. It's okay.
I just
It's
want to
fine.
share my thoughts with my brothers, but nobody wants to watch it.
I will catch up when the season's over.
I might do that.
I think you'll like the set
Wait,
design.
what's the next episode?
Shit.
When do we record again?
It's pretty interesting.
There's
Damn
only
it.
2 left, I think.
That's
Yeah,
2
end of the
people
month.
that
It's
have
only
told
6.
me that.
Yeah, it's
Whose
cool.
opinion I trust. Ashley, you're compromised.
I'll just tell you, the first episode is okay, and then it gets really good.
Is it low-K? I'm sorry.
I'll give him that because that sounds like something I would have wrote. That sounds like something I would have wrote.
Yeah.
Low-K, okay.
I spent this week rewatching Flight of the Conchords.
Yes.
It's been a very long time. I forgot
Yes.
how funny that show was.
All these bridges.
On Brit.
Yeah, Brit, you're going to
Yeah.
have to start doing more than just hugging them. Just hugs for now until I'm more comfortable.
Doggy dance.
Yeah, so it was so good. It's been so long
It's a
since I
fun
watched
show.
that. And then the other thing was it's crossover number 7. Did you read that, Bonner?
No, well, so here's the thing. For some reason, I thought crossover was going to end at 6 because the way it kind of built up and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing this
Just came
solicitation
out
for
this week.
this week. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, 7? And it's got Chip Zdarsky's face on it.
And he wrote it and he stars in it, and it's just like a one shot.
Is this a
Oh.
Marvel book?
No, Image.
Oh, I understand
Image.
why you stopped.
But I bought 6 issues worth.
Yeah, you got a 6-issue cap.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just this one shot. Chip Zdarsky wrote it. He's like the star of it. It's just it's really good. He's such an interesting guy.
Our man Chip.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Shout out
sound
to Chip.
self-serving.
but it's right in line with his brand. I think that's what,
Yeah,
that's what's
it's
so great about it.
entertaining. It's good.
Oh,
That's good.
Is anybody still reading Daredevil?
Well, yeah.
Well, the last issue came out this week, right?
Yeah, it did.
You should sign up for the
didn't
Chip
fucking- why didn't I
Zdarsky
do-
newsletter. It's so good.
Seriously, he has a
Keep-
newsletter?
Yeah, it keeps you up to date on everything, and it's really funny.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah. So that's my last champion, the Chip
Damn, a
Zdarsky.
4-piece?
She's
Damn.
better at
One up
segueing
you.
than you are, and it only took her 5 years.
just like the void and the chasm of sorrow.
You know, in
the end of the show is here.
the shoelace of the cosmos
This is
needs
reading way too
Oh,
much.
man.
a piece of chewing gum.
I do want to champion though this new video game I came across called Castle Crashers.
I saw that. You put that on your
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, definitely not new at all.
10 years ago.
New to me. Well, technically, it just came to the PS4 in 2019.
So it didn't exist before that. Ed.
Yes, and not at all.
Okay.
But
Castle Crashers.
Drew got me onto it this week. It's a 2D indie game style hack and slash video game, originally released for Xbox in 2008. I know, I'm late as fuck. But
guys, you heard of this game called Pitfall? It's really good.
But
Pac-Man.
it was
It's gonna
recently
sweep the nation.
It was recently remastered for the Switch and PS4 in 2019. The general gist of it is you play one of 4 knights. You're charged by your king to go rescue 4 different princesses across different castles and stages. You're fighting an evil wizard, blah, blah, blah. Visually, it reminds me of like a modern day version of those like old Adobe Flash stick
cartoons.
fight. Yeah, stick fight meets South Park. Like it just the humor in it is just kind of like absurd and shit. But it is so fun. Easy to pick up. Great party game or just like a one-on-one game. It's got online capabilities. It looks amazing. Like I highly recommend checking that out. I know
you playing this with your friends in your other podcast?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'd like to play Castle Crashers, but I guess I'm not
cast.
cool enough. Yeah. Guys, Friday nights, Castle Crash.
Podcastle Crashers. Our new
Podcast
podcast.
Podcast crash. You know, that'd be a really cool podcast is where we just crash other podcasts. Like, hey.
Sounds like you've been playing it.
I will not comment on that anymore.
Oh, no. Guys, I think I've gotten through.
Too far.
I've gotten through the gooey center of Potter's heart.
No. You haven't gotten through. This Sailor Jerry's has definitely gotten through that gooey center of my heart. Which means that it's time to about wrap up. But first, before we wrap up champion season, I want to go ahead and share our friend Nick Wagner, who also sponsors this segment over at Black Hive Tattoo.
Oh, good.
He sent I asked him to send a voicemail with his picks. I think he's got a great voice for podcasting, and he has sent in his champion picks this week via voicemail. So we'll play that.
Hey guys, it's Nick Wagner from Black Hive Tattoo, sending in our choice for champion season this week. I'm looking at a show on Apple Plus called Mythic Quest. It's about a video game development company, and the show is brought to you, written, and starring some of the people from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Not nearly as acerbic, it's actually really funny. And the second season just finished last week. I don't know. I think it's really funny and kind of rolls right into the nerd culture stuff that we all love. The second season, I will warn you, goes a little dark in the middle and takes a turn, but the payoff is great. And even if you only watch the first season, I definitely can't recommend it enough.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Nick, God bless him.
One and done, baby.
That
One
man
and done.
has, well, I was going to say, that man has such a hypnotic ASMR-esque voice.
That's why I asked him to send it in.
Like he like I was sitting here like, tell me more, strange wizard. Like, but in the same regard, someone at work today just recently said like, "Yo, you need to jump on Mythic."
Who has
Quest.
Apple Plus?
I did. Well, apparently everybody except us.
Those of privilege.
I'm too poor for that shit.
Can you get a free trial and just watch the whole first season in
guess I
7
My
days?
dog. Like
But I
Ashley's got
always
that
forget.
America Online 10 hours free
But
at
I
Best
always
Buy logic.
forget, and you have to put your credit card information in.
I'm
They get you.
I'm going to try and figure out a way to watch it because
sure.
it's like it's too
Okay.
weird that too many people have been suggesting the show, and I do like It's Always Sunny, and I like that he's like, it's not as, it's not as intense. It's not going to hit you the same way. So
What you could do is upgrade your phone, and then you
steal
normally
someone-
get.
Oh, yeah, no, you're
Well,
right.
That too.
Yeah,
that
you're
too.
right, you're
That was
right.
my second
You're right,
suggestion.
you're right.
Oh, okay.
I think you normally get like a free trial for Apple TV if you like upgrade your phone and other stuff like that. So that's
Well, anyway,
that's a potential hack.
Nick's got that voice for sure.
And that actually brings us to the end of our show. Anyone have any last minute plugs? Anything you guys want to share? Ed, Ashley, I've got links to your websites in the show notes if anyone's interested in checking out your artwork. Are you guys taking commissions?
Nope.
I think that should lead with that.
No,
You're not taking commissions?
I'm way behind.
I like how you guys test the waters. Like, wait,
Yeah.
you taking
Well,
commissions?
I mean-
I'm not. Me neither.
You
Fuck
taking
that.
one? You
Fuck
taking
that.
one? Are you going to take one?
I mean, I will field them. I'll definitely, entertain offers, but I am way behind right now.
If
But-
David Morales hit you up right now and was like,
Yo, I want
"Oh,
I want a picture of a little dick drinking
oh
beer,
my god,
like out of a cup, and I'm going to pay you lots of money.
yeah, I'll do
Fucking draw it, man. Draw that shit.
You got
'cause
to.
I want
Ed.
it.
You got to. You drew a
My name's-
fucking brony for Blake of me. You drew. I'm sorry, a brony version of me. You have to do that.
Which you've covered up with Post-its and other stuff.
Oh, well, that was on accident. I didn't do that. Out of spite. Sorry. Okay. So Ed, you're taking maybe commissions. Ashley, are you taking commissions?
Yeah, same thing. I'll field them.
See, any last comments? Anything you want to plug?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, I've got something I'd like to plug, and it's a brand new podcast that
You get the fuck out of here. You do that shit on your own time.
Yeah, man.
Do that shit on your own time, all right?
Yeah.
You fucking make this shit. That ain't part of the brand. That ain't part of the brand. Is that part of the LLC? Is that part of the LLC?
Nope. Time out.
that part of the
Actually,
LLC?
no, fuck that. Real quick. I've got time. We've got time. You were on another podcast for years.
Yeah, and you knew
You were
about
on the
it.
Straight Chillin' podcast.
Yeah, and I sacrificed that podcast for the sake of this one.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
That is only after a couple years, though. So I'm allotted at least like 2 years to run this podcast.
He gets a
No.
2-year window?
Yeah, you.
Thank you, Ed. I do. I do.
Yeah, no,
I
you do. As long as you are upfront with your co-host that
All right.
you have been doing it.
You guys know
Oh.
now. You guys know now.
No, we found out now.
Okay,
we
well-
don't know. You
well,
were like,
all right.
we
We
had to
brought it
find out
up.
because you were griping on Facebook. Like,
No,
guys,
no,
it's
no,
really
no.
hard
No,
to
I was
try.
not griping. I was starting a conversation among our podcaster friends.
Yo, hashtag busy. Hashtag on
All
the
right.
grind.
Well, look, if I Ashley, I've never seen her so red. Who knew that your baby voice was the trick?
Oh my god.
Hashtag hustling, am
All
I
right,
right? Potter, you're a hero.
Jigga man, what up?
Potter, you're a hero.
I'm crazy for this
An
one, Rick.
inspiration to all of us.
All right, wait.
Inspiration for
All right.
throwing your
Eh, eh,
friends under the bus.
No, I didn't. If I formally apologize to you guys right now for not telling you about this other podcast,
Are you going to stop? You're going to quit the other podcast?
No, I'm not. Definitely not quitting
Okay,
the
well,
other
then
podcast.
we're
It's
good.
fine.
That's fine. Mr. Promises, back from the road.
Can I plug it at least just a little?
No, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right. So I just launched. I was going to add it in the show notes. So fuck you guys. Take care. All right. No, seriously. Shortbox Nation, we are
No,
done
go
for the
ahead,
day.
plug it. Go ahead,
No,
plug
I'm
it.
good.
It's like we
I'm
can't
good.
see the notes.
I'm
yet.
good.
No,
I'm
no,
good,
let's
man.
talk
I'm
about,
good.
your
I'm good.
little,
I'm
your
good.
little record
Yo,
on the
look,
Cool Guy podcast.
Yeah.
Never said that, but if you want to.
Never said that. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been listening to this really awesome podcast with Tony, friend of the show, who talks about records. There's some other guy on there, but I don't really give a shit about
Fuck
him.
that dude.
It's really amazing. If you really like records and pretending you're better than everyone else, this is
said that.
fucking
Oh.
great. This is a really good podcast.
Wow.
Now, mind you, no one else on the show says that. Only one guy says that, and his name starts with B and ends with Otter. So if you really like it, I suggest you listen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You gonna give the name?
No, it's called Time to Get the Fuck Out of This House podcast. All of you don't come back for 2 weeks.
Oh, you're gonna
Don't-
punish us for your indiscretion. And that's great. That's great.
Oh man, we got to record more on Fridays. I like this. I like this energy. There you
Guys,
have.
how do I throw
All
my
right,
friends
I
under
will.
the
I will
bus?
fucking mute you. Let me do my
How
outro.
do I throw my friends under the bus?
There you have it, Shortbox Nation. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. Let's keep the conversation going. Feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you end up reading Taskmaster's first appearance or if you end up catching Black Widow on opening day. We'll be catching it on Friday as a dysfunctional fucking family.
You the motherfucking Taskmaster. How about that shit?
That's actually good. Hit us up on social media or write into the show and send a short email to our inbox at theshortboxjacks@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app because next week we're hoping to have an interview with Rob Liefeld to share with you. We'll see if we're successful. If you don't hear from us next week, you got your answer. But hopefully,
Listen,
but look, if that's too long to wait or the suspense is too much for you, consider joining our Patreon community for access to our spin-off podcast series, Pilot's License. It's a bonus series revisiting classic comic book cartoons and animated shows. This month's episode will be about the 1994 Gargoyle series. Get access to Pilot's License and the rest of our bonus content by clicking the Patreon link in the show notes. In the meantime, Shortbox Nation, stay tuned to our Instagram and Twitter. Take care of yourselves. Come back next week. And please, continue to make mine and yours Shortbox. Peace.
If we're here.